Good evening and welcome to Electronic Game Information. I'm your host, Robby Rackleff, and tonight is our final episode of Tokyo Game Show 2019 coverage. It was a wild and crazy event with plenty of surprises. We got to see a lot of Death Stranding. What a interesting game that seems to be. Lots of elements. And as the saying goes, it is time to look at to take a final look at a game on my Nintendo eShop wish list in our Tokyo Game Show special segment. How much does the game cost versus how much am I willing to spend on it? This final week, we're doing something a little different. We're talking about a game that is not actually on the Nintendo eShop, but it is a game that I suspect will be soon. After I tell you what the game is, I'm going to tell you how much I think it's going to cost, and then I'm going to tell you how much I would actually like to pay for it. I am, of course, talking about the game Dusk, the retro-styled first-person shooter that has been announced as coming to the Switch, officially announced as coming to the Nintendo Switch at some point in the future. We just don't have a release date. So let's take a quick look back at the trailer for Dusk. It's the actual trailer. I just want to watch the trailer for Dusk. I just like the trailer.
You finally arrived.
Damn. It gets me every time. Every single time. Oh my goodness. Every single time I watch that trailer. Of course, it's not out. It says it's out, but it's out on Steam, but it is not on the eShop. I mean, it could be out on the eShop by the time you see this, but we don't know. We just don't know anything. What do we even know? Huh? What do we even know anymore? Alan? What do we know?
What's up, dude? I can hear you, my man. What is up? You're asking me about Dusk.
Yeah, Alan, we're talking about the game Dusk. It is supposed to be coming out to the Nintendo eShop at some point in the future. It's out now on other platforms, but has not been put onto the eShop.
I'm going to get that game.
Yeah,
Dusk
you are going to get that game
because
it's a fantastic retro-styled first-person action shooter that harkens back to the perhaps the golden age of early 3D first-person shooters.
Very cool. I love a game where you can blast your enemies. So I'm going to get that. You are awesome, Robby. I love you, dude.
Alan, I don't know what to say. I've never heard you talk like this. I've never seen you look like that. But you do seem to be having a great time. So
yeah, man.
I'm enjoying it, and I think I'm enjoying it. And a lot of things have changed since we got to Tokyo. We'll check back in on Alan in a bit. Love you too.
I'm having so much fun in Tokyo.
You're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun together.
In the studio.
Back to you. Before I go any further, I feel like I need to say something about this segment. This segment isn't just about cloud bursting when it comes to Nintendo eShop prices. The sale prices I'm asking for, the prices that I would like to pay, are not unrealistic. Let me point out something to you all. One of the games that I was going to call up for this segment was a game called Hard West, an XCOM-style action strategy game set in a terrifying supernatural vision of the Wild West, not too much unlike Dark Watch for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. If you're unfamiliar with Hard West, let me illuminate it for you a little bit. This is from the Hard West wiki page. This is actual text from the About section from the Hard West wiki page. Actual text. Welcome to the wild Hard West like you've never seen it before, when a tragic turn of events sets one man down a path of supernatural chaos and revenge. He must brutally hunt down all those whom, seems like a typo, wronged him. Follow Warren, that's your character's name, Warren, I suspect, on his descent into the darkest recesses of the human soul and try to survive in a world full of hard choices and even harder consequences. Because in this world, death is a constant presence, and the black pacts which you make with forces beyond human comprehension will forever haunt all those around you. For those who are just joining us, we are talking about Hard West, and I am reading from the Hard West wiki page. Fight and survive through 8 unique story-based scenarios and try your hand at more than 40 individually designed turn-based combat missions. Journey deep into the world of Hard West and meet a colorful cast of playable characters, and then there's a hyperlink to the characters. There's a hyperlink here to the character section. The hyperlink doesn't work. This is a printout, but characters whose fates are intimately intertwined with yours. Together you will need to make a decisive or divisive, they said divisive, but I think it's supposed to be decisive choice to uncover the ultimate plans of the ancient powers as plays. As you unravel a deep narrative storyline featuring multiple endings depending on the choices you make during the game. And here is a bit of exciting Hard West game. These are some of the exciting Hard West game features. This is from the Hard West wiki page. Again, this is a section of the Hard West wiki page. Game features. Features include a unique Weird West world where Western legends meet demons. These are all bullet points on the wiki page. Compelling turn-based combat is another bullet point with powerful Western-inspired special abilities and unique story-based objectives. This sounds like a lot of fun, a very hard action strategy game, hard action and Western strategy game. Collect and combine special abilities, and there's another one of those hyperlinks that takes you to another section that doesn't work because it's a printout. Collect special abilities by equipping unique cards to create even more powerful combos. Choice and fate with a deep storyline where decisions will resonate through future events and change the ultimate fates of characters. That was an actual sentence. I didn't change that at all. Luck of the Draw with a combat system featuring luck as a unique guardian of engaging and challenging combat. Dynamic and extensive covering systems, which allows for effective cover making, flanking, and maneuvering. A truly powerful tactic. Shadow spotting, that's a part of the cover system. Exploit the blazing western sun to locate out-of-sight enemies by the shadows they cast. Sounds like a lot of fun. Utilize metal objects to allow master gunslingers to ricochet and shoot beyond the line of sight. And the final bullet point is this. In the game features section of the Hard West Wiki, 40 historically inspired weapons to employ, all based upon real outlandish prototypes, designs, and ideas from the era. And if you are like me, you want to know more about that cover system, so I made a printout of some information about the cover system from the Hard West Wikipedia page, which is different, of course, from the Hard West Wiki page. Don't ask me what the difference is, but there is one, and ours is not to question why, ours is but to do and die. That is Tennyson here on Electronic Game Information. And Tennyson says, Hard West's tactical gameplay largely follows the standards set by XCOM Enemy Unknown, like I said at the top of the show. During combat, every character starts each turn with 2 action points, which can be spent on either a move or shot each, although most weapons instantly end a character's turn upon being fired. The game, which is Hard West, if you are just joining us, also uses a cover system based on 2 cover types, which lower the chance to get hit and damaged. Low barriers constitute half cover, and barriers taller than a character constitute full cover. The latter providing more protection. So let's take a second and look at some exciting Hard West footage. This is actual footage from Hard West. This is footage from Hard West. If you're just joining us, we are watching footage from Hard West. This is an electronic game information exclusive look at Hard West. Truly, the West could not have gotten any harder than that. The West was indeed hard, but that game just kind of nails it for me. Alan, if you're there, I would like to know, how much do you think Hard West costs on the Nintendo eShop?
Robbie, I can hear you, my man. I think Hard West, that's a weird game, my man.
It's an action-packed strategy game, much like the newer XCOM games that have made such a splash in the strategy gaming community.
Right, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of a game that was, because it didn't seem fun or like anything happened. So I would mark that. That game was cool, though. It looked nice. I think it would probably be maybe about like $80. I would pay like $80 for Hard West because the name is good too.
Well, it's a high price that you set for Hard West there, Alan. I mean, you're talking about what you're talking about is the full launch price of a full AAA Switch launch title. It's cost at launch, plus perhaps the extra $20 for a season pass. That's quite a commitment that you've made to Hard West.
Right. Well, I just don't know what kind of a game that was. Like, that's a new game, right?
Just $80 seems like a lot. It's $19.99.
Okay.
It's $19.99 on the
That's so
Nintendo
cool, dude.
eShop. $20, $19.99. Alan, how much do you think I would be willing to pay for Hard West? How much do you think I would be willing to pay for all of that turn-based, cover-based strategy action? I mean, maybe I should have done a how much does the game cost versus how much am I willing to pay for it segment on Hard West after all. I didn't because I was doing other games, but maybe I should have done one for Hard West.
I thought that's what you were doing.
No, this is I'm talking about. This is why these the guesses for the prices that I would like to pay for the games are unrealistic. I'm using Hard West as an example because I was thinking about doing it.
What are you asking? Like, you're asking how much you should pay for it?
I'm asking. No. I know how much the game.
Segment.
I know how much the game costs. The base price of Hard West on the Nintendo eShop is $19.99. But Alan, how much do you think I would be willing to pay for Hard West on the Nintendo eShop?
Isn't that what the segment always is?
Well, no. We're talking about a different game. Hard West just happens to be an example for something I'm trying to prove when it comes to when I decide what the markdown should be.
Right, I think, but this
this is not, I mean, like last time I was talking about Slain, which is usually $19.99, but is often marked down to $5.99, but it's on other platforms, it's gone as low as $1.99, which is what I would like to pay for.
So you want to pay $2 for Hard West.
And I would like to pay $3.99 for a Hard West. I would have liked to pay I would have been happy to pay for Hard West $3.99 for Hard West. Alan, how much do you think I paid for Hard West last week?
You did get Hard West.
I bought Hard West. How much do you think I paid for it?
It's $20.
$3.99. So what I'm telling you is that this isn't just cloud pursing. These segments these have all been based on some kind of analysis, hard data analysis. So if I say, I hope a game drops in price to such and such dollars, you should believe that I think it could happen. I really have. It's an educated guess. It also comes from the heart. So to me, this is when I talk about when Hard West came down to $3.99, I was like, this is like Ghost Rider 2099 all over again. So Dusk has I repeat, has not been added to the Nintendo eShop thanks to the tireless efforts of the team here at EGI headquarters. However, we have tracked down Dusk's Steam store page where it is listed at the base price of $19.99. This is the kind of quality reporting that is lacking from video game journalism. Hacks like us here at EGI are willing to get right into the muck and bring you this kind of information, like $19.99 for Dusk on the Steam store, and the simple reason I am not willing to pay $19.99 for Dusk on the Nintendo Switch, which, like I said, has not been actually added to the Nintendo Switch eShop. Let me be clear. I spent too much on game vouchers, Alan. I spent too much money on eShop vouchers, and therefore I cannot justify paying $20 for anything. So this is just me expressing a deep-seated issue I have, a kind of a criticism of myself. It's not any criticism of the quality of Dusk. Dusk is, of course, one of the new standout examples of a trend in first-person shooter gaming that looks to the past for new experiences. For us here in the future, or in the present day, here's some information from the Dusk Wikipedia page and the weapons, more specifically the gameplay section. This is exclusively from the Dusk Wikipedia page. The object of Dusk's gameplay is to reach the exit of the level, which is classic for these classic first-person shooters. You just want to get to the end of the level while surviving all the hazards on the way. Such hazards include hostile enemies such as robed cultists, demonic livestock, sentient scarecrows, and possessed soldiers. The player has access to a variety of weapons, including dual-wielded sickles, dual pistols, single and double-barreled shotguns, an assault rifle, a hunting rifle, a magic crossbow, a mortar, a magic sword, and a weapon called the Riveter that shoots exploding rivets. This is all from the Wikipedia page for Dusk. A unique mechanic of Dusk is the unlocked Y-axis, allowing the player an additional degree of rotation whilst in midair, which grants the ability to perform front and back flips. The multiplayer component of Dusk, titled Dusk World, features an online deathmatch mode which supports up to 16 players, so you can put those wonderful Dusk backflips to use in multiplayer. Dusk inherits many design staples from the 1990s first-person shooters. Like I said, classic first-person shooters from the 1990s, such as non-regenerating health, greater emphasis on movement, speed, and the ability to carry a large amount of weapons at once. Once again, those weapons are dual-wielded sickles, dual pistols, single and double-barreled shotguns, an assault rifle, a hunting rifle, a magic crossbow, a mortar, a magic sword, and, of course, the Riveter that shoots exploding rivets. So what I would like to pay for Dusk when it comes to the Nintendo eShop, when it has been announced, it will come. I would like to pay $9.99 for the opportunity to play this wonderful game, Dusk, in docked or handheld mode. So if David Szymanski and New Blood Interactive, that might be kind of a play on words, New Blood, because of obviously this is like Dusk is sort of like a newer version of the classic first-person shooter Blood, so the PC first-person shooter Blood. So some might say that Dusk is like the New Blood. Anyway, if Dusk is marked down to $9.99, you've got yourself a sale. You've got it. $9.99. I feel exercised. I feel lighter. I've gone through all of these wonderful games that I would like to buy for cheaper than they are listed at their base price on the Nintendo eShop. Alan, have you seen anything here in Tokyo that has excited you as much as I'm excited about paying $9.99 for Dusk?
I don't know if anything's excited me about Dusk level excitement, but like everything here is amazing, and I just feel like, you know, everything I've seen has kind of made me a better person. Like, I don't know if if people haven't traveled, like, they might not understand, but like, I just feel like changed. Like, I'm awesome. Like, I just had so much fun on this trip with you, Robby.
Alan,
and I just love you, my man.
I feel like you've, I have to say, Alan, I feel like you've, I wouldn't necessarily use the word blossomed on this trip, but I will say that there has been a change. You got on the airport in the United States, you got into the airplane in the United States as one person, and then over the course of our time here in Tokyo, Japan, you have kind of become a different person. So although I wouldn't say blossomed, I might say something like turned over. So it turned over
Robby,
a new leaf,
is actually a very good
life
word
that
for
you're
it.
trying to live.
No. I prefer Blossom.
Well,
so
Alan,
like I feel
go
like
ahead.
Tokyo has made me like you said, Tokyo has made me blossom, and this place is cool, dude.
Well, tell me what you've seen. Have you seen what games you've seen at the Tokyo Game Show that you're excited about? That games that have made you that
Yeah,
you know.
Gun
that
Gun
we've talked
Pixies
about,
is definitely
we
the
talked about Gun
standout.
Pixies. I don't think that we should be talking about Gun
It's the
Pixies.
standout game of the Tokyo Game Show by far.
We have callers online who want to
up?
talk about the Tokyo Game Show games. Hopefully, we've covered Gun Pixies as much as we possibly
Yeah, Gun
can.
Pixies though, that is cool
It's-
stuff.
it's-
I'm pretty pumped about that.
I think that you can research what the kinds of ratings the game has actually gotten, and I think that you'll find the opposite is true. Hi, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We are talking about the Tokyo Game Show. Have you seen anything over the weeks of Tokyo Game Show coverage here on Electronic Game Information that has excited you for
what's
games
up,
of the
dude?
future?
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had seen anything about Chibi Robo this year.
Anything about Chibi Robo? I have not seen anything about Chibi Robo, Alan. They're talking about Chibi Robo, the classic platformer from the GameCube and also the 3DS. And I do believe that
I didn't see
nothing.
I didn't see anything about Chibi Robo. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Alan. I haven't seen anything about Chibi Robo. I liked it better when you had things. You just keep adding things and putting things on. It's throwing me off, Alan. Chibi Robo.
It's hot out here,
also,
Robbie.
I was wondering if you ever thought there would be a crossover with Peakman because like they're the same size.
Who?
Crossover with
have,
who?
like the little spaceship.
Wait. What?
You know, like Captain Olimar?
Pikmin, a crossover, Chibi Robo Pikmin
sorry.
crossover.
Hey, Robbie?
I would love to see that. I mean, it's happened before. We have seen these kinds of things happen when the Professor Layton crossed over with the Speedy Ace Ventura, the Ace Attorney.
Robbie, what is Chibi Robo?
Yeah.
Robbie, what is
Chibi Robo
Chibi
is a magical robot who runs around. He's a small robot. He runs around in people's houses and plugs in their appliances.
Okay, so like how
It's a-
small are we talking?
It's like the size of Alan, right?
No. Much smaller. And,
Like what? Like
and you don't interact with people. I think is the important thing that we're
Oh, okay.
we're you know.
Well,
you-
the people
you-
know
you're
that
just-
Chibi Robo exists, though. He's like their helper. He's like their little butler.
So I'm confused. Like how like you do interact with people though? Because then
Not
there's people in it,
directly,
and
but,
you're
like,
small.
You help people like
Like,
she loses
Robbie,
her
show
ring,
me with
her
your
diamond
hand
ring
how
down
big the
garbage
Chibi Robo
disposal.
is.
So Chibi Robo goes in the garbage disposal to find her diamond ring.
Wait, what?
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
Chibi Robo is probably about that big, maybe like that big.
And what is
Yeah.
this game on?
He's like the same size as Peakman.
And
Or
Pikmin
Pikmin,
are
sorry.
small. They're like little guys.
I feel like they're about the same size, though,
But
right?
Pikmin, there's no
Am I wrong about
people.
that?
There's no diamond ring. There's no. I want to play Chibi Robo,
No, but-
Robbie.
All right,
there
well,
were
thank you for your
aliens in
call.
Chibi Robo.
We have
Thank
another
you.
caller on the line.
Thanks for your
Chibi
call.
Robo, we did not
Back
see
to you, Robbie.
anything new. Back to you, Alan. Nothing new about Chibi Robo, but maybe sometime in the future. It's a classic platformer game for the GameCube and also 3DS. Hello, you're on the air with Electronic Game Information. We are talking about the Tokyo Game Show, games at the Tokyo Game Show, games that we've seen and hope to see again.
Alan yesterday got me, last week he got me really interested in Gun Pixies. So I wanted to ask Alan more about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gun Pixies, Robbie. That's a game at the Tokyo Game Show. We should talk about this.
It has come out, Alan, and
It came
caller,
out?
The game has come out. It has not gotten great reviews.
But what do you mean?
think
I didn't know it came out. I didn't know it was out. Is it? I can play.
Okay.
I want to play that.
I mean, the gameplay got me really interested in it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
me too.
Like,
That's
I
what
want
got
to see
me-
more of that. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you, because that's actually what got me into it. Is I saw that gameplay and I was like, "Whoa, what is this? This is cool. This is a cool game."
Yeah, just like Alan, I fantasize every night about playing that game, you know?
Well, I
What?
think I
Yeah.
have to disagree with
Wait.
you, caller. You might want to maybe fantasize more about playing the new Streets of Rage, which
No,
the
caller.
new Streets of Rage 4, of course,
Caller, let's get
coming
ramen.
to
Let's get
most
dipping noodles after
platforms,
this when we talk about
digital
Gun
and physical platforms with music composed by the music composer for Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 4 promises to bring back some of that classic wholesome street beat 'em up action.
Robbie, I have a question.
Yes, you
Is
have
it
my
as good
attention.
as Gun Pixies?
thank you for your call. We have another caller on the line. We so happy to talk about Streets of Rage 4 or Dusk or Hard West or any of the games that we've covered. We've spent so much time going online, researching information, getting detailed information about these games so we can answer your questions. We've covered Gun Pixies. Do you have... caller, you're on the air.
Yeah. Gun Pixies. I got to talk to Alan about that. That game sounds sick.
What is your name, caller? I'd love to talk about Gun Pixies.
My name's Tanner.
Tanner, like B-Tan. What's up?
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
You could call you Al. I could call you Al.
Whatever, man. Gun Pixies. Let's rap about that.
Let's rap?
Let's chat about Gun Pixies. I just want to hear what you wanted to talk about that. So I'm like, here, I want to talk about that too, my man. So let's do it.
Well, the game looks fun. The game looks great.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for it to get out of Tokyo and get into my console.
Same, me too. When I get home, when I get off the airplane, I'm gonna buy Gun Pixies. I'm going to play.
You might also want to consider buying Hard West. Hard West, of course, is $3.90. It's still $3.99. I was able to...
No, Robbie, you said that game was $20.
It's $20. The base price. It's on sale. It's been on sale for several weeks now for $3.99. It's Hard West. It's got lots of... I can go down and read you some more of the caller. I can read you some of the game features for Hard West, including tactical gameplay,
Robbie,
which largely
Robbie,
follows the standards set by X.
I'm going to have to say no. It's nothing compared to the hype I'm getting from Gun Pixie. It's really riling me up.
I mean, just do some research.
Hard West.
Caller,
me too about that.
You don't have to take my word for it. You should. You don't have to take Alan's word for it. Do your own research. You'll find, I think, that the hard truth of Gun Pixies is that it's a specialized game for very...
Do your own research. If Gun Pixies calls to you or talks to you and you watch that gameplay and it looks fun, then it's fun. And it's fun. So I don't actually think...
Well, I think I've done plenty of research and I've decided that Gun Pixie is the perfect game for this year and for my taste, and that Hard West just looks like a pile of trash.
Hard West is not it's a well thought out strategy game with lots of it's got a luck of the draw combat system with dynamic. It's got a cover system. It's got
$3 are not
modern
good games.
trappings of
Gun
strategy games. Gun Pixies,
Robbie,
it's like those EDF games that came out in like 2003.
I don't know what that means. Back to you, Rob.
Back to you, Alan. Thank you for your call. We do have some more footage from our wonderful trip to the Kowloon City arcade in Tokyo. So let's take a look at the footage from Tokyo. You'll find that we played a lot of games. None of them were...
We had fun.
Maybe the game that Alan would like to be playing instead of the games that we played. We're having a great day here. We're in the warehouse arcade that is modeled after Kowloon City. Looking at all these great classic games you probably remember from your childhood, like Virtual on Ontario, Canada. Your Dance Dance Revolution machines behind me. There's those classic pads that you just kick around. Starwing Paradox, of course, the classic sit down and use two joysticks. Starwing Paradox, another classic game. Very popular games like Border Break and Magic Academy. Racing games that you remember, like D0, Player 5 Showdown. I remember this game very well.
Hey everyone, Alan here for EGI, Tokyo Game Show. I got to go to Tokyo with Robby Rackleff, the best pro gamer in all of gaming. How cool is that? Robby is probably the coolest guy I've ever met, and he could beat any game if he tried. He's really the best at anything he does. So thank you, Robby, thank you, EGI, and back to you, Robby. I'm with my hero and best friend in the whole world, Robby Rackleff, and he's playing a game, a racing game right now, and he's probably going to win the game because he's the best. So here I am, and here's Robby. He's winning the game. He's in first place, and he's doing amazing, and he's having so much fun in Tokyo. Just to reiterate, Robby let me come to Tokyo with him for electronic game information, and he's winning every game he plays. Robby, did you win the game? Did you win the game?
No, I didn't realize that this racing game had intersections and oncoming traffic. My fault for not doing the research that I needed to do before playing something like this, before investing money in it. It just feels a little like I wasted money, and I don't like that feeling.
All right, so update from EGI. Robby has failed the game he played, but it's not his fault. It was something wrong with the game design.
Warehouse arcade. It was a big arcade, great arcade, a lot of fun to be there. Just a wonderful arcade filled with games that you remember from your past, from your childhood, games that you may never have played in your life. All there up at the Kawasaki Warehouse, Tokyo, Japan. You got to come see it. Kawasaki subway station gets you pretty close. Not all the way there. It was still a long walk.
So that's Robby right there. That's
Robby Rackleff, the electronic game information.
I'm Alan, and he's a big, strong, tall guy, and he knows everything about trains. and so he knew exactly where to go to have the most fun in Tokyo, and I'm having a blast. I've never been anywhere, so this is like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me personally. I want to first thank Robby, who's right here, and everyone who's
on the train.
There's a train. Okay, that's not that cool, but check that out. There's an old building that has lots of fun video games in it. Let's get a shot of me and Robby with the fun games. Robby, look. Okay, so big thanks to Robby for letting Alan come to Tokyo. Probably be lost without him. He's my best friend in the whole world.
It's been a wonderful experience here with Alan in Tokyo. I do forgive him for what happened at the customs checkpoint when we got to Tokyo. I do realize that it was not his fault. Things happen when you get nervous and you say things that you don't know what you're saying. And Alan, I just want you to know that I do forgive you, and that we're gonna have a great day.
There's a big mix-up at the customs department when we got into the airport in Tokyo, Japan, but no big deal. Robby's not mad at me. He told me, you heard it here first, everything's going good. We're going to explore the city, and we're going to have a blast.
You heard it right. Alan at the customs, they questioned him. They asked if he had any gold or illegal drugs or pornography, and he pointed at the gold because he thought that they were asking if he wanted any gold, and he said that out of the three things that they were presenting him, he would prefer gold, which was the wrong answer. So it took us several hours to get through customs. We had a lot of people from a lot of different countries looking at us very strangely, like we were criminals. Didn't feel good, but all that's in the past. We had a great time at the arcade.
Yeah, there was a big mistake, but everything's all good now. We're having the time of our lives, and it's the most fun I've ever had, and I think it's the most fun Robby's ever had. So thank you for Robby and Tokyo Game Show EGI signing off. Back to you.
Back to the studio. Welcome back, and it is time to look at our beautiful fan art in the segment It's the Arts. Here is the first piece that we have. It's from who's this from? Julia Gulia, who has drawn me and Alan looking like we're having a very nice time in Tokyo, Japan. Alan, how you look that?
That
nice,
is so,
huh?
Robby,
here's a picture of me.
You are my best friend, and it is so cool that people draw us together.
I mean, so this is from Boyfriend is Better. It's a drawing. I believe it is of me sweating, saying, "I wish there were trains to take me away." I do not wish that all the time, but I do love trains. I just bought a sleeper car ticket on a train to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this is a drawing from Senka Zugic. It's a drawing that says, "You are far away," and but it feels like you're my friends. You are. Thank you for a wonderful show. Thank you for so much information. That is from Senka. It's a wonderful drawing of me and Alan, and also Ben and Cricket, and the list, of course. The list is on there as well. There's a comic book kind of drawing. It's from Laura Leak. Laura Leak, friend of the show, Laura Leak. It says, "I am profoundly threatened by change and by the chance that you might be outgrowing EGI and therefore our friendship. Steve, please stop eating strawberries." Alan, it's a very interesting thing that you said. I don't remember saying. Oh, I'm saying that, I guess.
Robby,
So this says that you're bursting with joy and that you're alive.
How big I get, I will
could be
always
dead, but you're
be your
alive.
friend because I love you, and we had the best time in the arcade.
We had a very nice time in the arcade, and then something sort of happened, and you changed, but change is inevitable. And Laurel Leak has drawn a wonderful drawing of representing a type of change that some people have to go through.
Just because I am blossoming doesn't mean there is not room in my heart for you, my man.
This is a drawing of me kissing Seaman, which I see as this is from Maxwell Sharks. This is well, we're not kissing. It looks like Seaman's trying to kiss me, and I'm saying no. And I am happy to hang out with Seaman. I'm happy to do things and have him ask me questions, but
Robby,
no kissing.
Robby, actually, I think you should maybe try kissing Seaman because it is very cool. You know what I mean?
Maxwell Sharks. This is from a friend of the show,
Do you know
Lindsay
what I mean?
Yang. Lindsay Yang has drawn this wonderful drawing of me asking, "Aren't the cherry blossoms nice, Alan Cohn?" And Alan, aren't the cherry blossoms nice in Tokyo? We're having a great time.
Yes.
This is you.
I love that, my man.
I'm
Back
asking
to
you
you.
this wonderful question.
Can I see
I'm
that?
looking a little like I might be have been in the sun too much, but have you?
That is
do
so
love the cherry blossoms here on the show.
Hey!
And there's Alan. Lindsay Yang has
me.
drawn Alan responding. Robbie Senpai. I don't know what that means, but you know,
I don't
maybe
know what
somebody
that
does.
means.
It's
What does that mean?
It's
But that
a
is
drawing
so
of what
cool.
you looked like when your hat was turned around the right side and you weren't wearing those sunglasses.
It's sunny
that you-
out here, Robbie.
It's there's
It's
you
sunny.
chose those sunglasses. You chose that. Ryan Thomas has sent this in. It's a drawing of me looking like I'm having a great time with the list, and Alan is having a great time with Seaman. They're doing their own thing, and they
Nice.
can do whatever they want. It's not up to me. It's not. I don't dictate what people's lives are like.
Of course not.
People grow apart, and
Robbie.
people move on,
Robbie.
and it's just a natural.
I love you, dude. You are my man. And
I love you
went
too,
to
Alan.
Tokyo, and we
I
had
just
so much fun, my man.
so much is going on. Isabel Randall sent this drawing of you doing all these adult things like eating strawberries.
That's
and,
not adult. And the
Yeah.
strawberries here are good.
And
The gummies.
it's frustrating for me because I feel like I get to a place and I stay the same person, and I
I'm the same, Robbie. I just blossom like a flower. So like a flower is a flower. I'm the same
from
flower.
Kit Kat. Kit Kat is showing, of course, the wonderful strawberries, I guess, that you've grown so fond of
Did
here
you-
in Tokyo, Japan.
Did you try them?
I've had the strawberries.
Okay, well, they're better.
They're
They're
they
better.
are strawberries.
No, they're better. They're not
just
just strawberries, Robbie. They're Japanese strawberries. They're sweeter and they're smaller.
Black Omen has sent this. This is a wonderful drawing of Alan looking
Wow.
very youthful and kind and sweet
That looks
and
like a
good.
photo.
And it's practically a
That's
photograph.
like they just took a photo of the screen.
It's just polygons, but there's a lot. So there's no
my neck
hard
hurts.
edges. It's all rounded. So that's a step up.
Thank you.
Thank you, friend of the show, Black Omen. This
Thank you, Black
comes
Omen.
from Janky Stark. Janky Stark has sent in a drawing of me and Alan as characters from Earth Defense Force. Earth Defense Force is, of course,
Robbie.
the classic.
Robbie, that's a B-Tan
game
and
where-
K-pop.
where-
That's B-Tan and K-pop. I'm
What?
B-Tan and you are K-pop. That's from Gun Gun Pixies. That's from Gun Gun Pixies, my man. Can you show it
This
again?
looks like it's
No.
electronic. We could talk about this in the chat. Maybe people are talking about it in
No.
the chat. This is definitely looks like something from Earth Defense Force.
No,
the
Robbie.
classic Earth Defense Force.
No, remember
series.
last week I showed
We
that
are,
I showed that
just,
game?
We're this is where the kind of game where
Robbie, I showed
soldiers,
that game last
actual
week. That's Gun Gun
soldiers
Pixies, my
fight
man.
aliens and protect the Earth. So that's what that game is.
I want a copy of that.
There's another screenshot from the Earth
Gun
Defense
Gun Pixies.
Force by Nathan Vegetable. Nathan
No, you
Vegetable
can tell
has-
'cause it's
has
got the girl
shown,
doing yoga in the
This is
dorm
one of
room.
the alien invaders, aliens invading
Oh my God,
us
Robbie!
and the Earth
Last
Defense
week
Force.
I showed a game called
I'm
Gun
sick of
Gun
talking
Pixies,
about
and
it.
I talked about it, and that's what.
Nathan Vegetable, friend of the show, Nathan Vegetable.
Thank you, Nathan Vegetable.
And this is, of course, Mel, friend of the show. Mel Hill has drawn me and Alan.
That's me and my best
Alan,
friend Robbie.
You're paying attention. You're invested. You're still, and
I am.
you're just the way you were
I still am meat, Robbie.
before
I'm
the
so meat.
Tokyo Game Show even started.
Robbie,
Is
this-
baby a gun? It says, is baby a gun? Remember that, Alan? That was the first episode. Is
Yeah,
baby
you
a gun?
made
That was
me
a
read
poem.
a haiku about Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, and we found. What did we find out about the baby?
I don't remember. Was it a gun? We didn't know.
No.
No, they didn't explain that part.
Well, Skeleton Warriors, of course, was something that we talked about a lot on the show. This is another drawing from Nacho Cheese, friend of the show,
Nice.
Nacho Cheese. No muscles, but a lot of heart. Skeleton Warriors having a lot of fun invading the studio with the skeleton army, from Baron Dark's skeleton army. And,
Very cool.
and it's Electronic Game
very cool.
Information. Thank you so much, Nacho Cheese. This is a... I don't know what to say about this one. This is
Gotcha,
another
now.
Janky Star strawberry eating picture.
Robbie, why are you
Love
so
the
threatened by
strawberries.
when I eat those strawberries? Why? Like,
Because you eat it like a person enjoying something that they should be private. It's a private thing that you bring into public, and I think that is the incorrect way to eat strawberries.
Robbie,
So this is a wonderful. This is the final piece of art that we'll show for our Electronic Game Information Tokyo Game Show coverage. It's a wonderful group image from
That's me
the
seeing
Electronic Game Information Discord,
Can you show
the
them?
Discord that have come together to make this wonderful piece of art as a community, as a collaborative effort. It's by, of course, Baldamoto, Marble Soda, The Man of the Workshop, Patomime, Moop, Dandy, friend of the show, Moop, friend of the show, Dandy, Gokai Orange, Gabalicious, friend of the show, Ryan Thomas, George Iro, and Nathan Vegetable. When we put this up on our Instagram, when we show the fan art on Instagram, we'll make sure to tag everybody that we can.
I really like
group
I like
collaborative
most
effort.
of
This
that
is what
drawing.
happens when people come together and they have a singular vision and they
There's a part of it that I've
respect.
changed, but a lot of it is good. So thank you, friends of the show.
Thank you, friends of the show.
We're drawing that.
And thank you, Baldamoto, for bringing all of them together, like Professor X or Cyclops. I prefer, somebody that can bring groups of people together. So that was the arts, and now we're running out of time, so we only have time for one question, and this is for the letters. This is one question. This is from Marco. It says, "Hi, Robbie and Alan. My name is Marco, and I've been too shy to call into the show because my English can be bad sometimes, but I've been a big fan of the show ever since the very first episode which I caught by mistake. Robbie, that's me. You're so cool and full of knowledge, and you're an inspiration to people everywhere who accumulate knowledge throughout the years without any particular reason." The question is, of course, Marco. From Marco? The question is, what do I need to become a friend of the show? Maybe I could send in some artwork or something. Marco, unnecessary. You are already a friend of the show. You're a friend of the show. Marco is an official EGI friend of the show. Marco is a friend of the show.
Thank you, Marco.
The show is this. We're gonna dedicate this one to Marco. Marco, the accumulation of useless knowledge is key to the existence of electronic game information, and I think key to life in general.
Hey, Marco.
Wonderful.
Hey, Marco.
Hey, Marco.
Nice.
All right. So we have a little bit of time. I want to do one thing. This is Alan. This is a game that I've been. This is a guessing game.
Are you talking to me, Robbie?
Oh, right. We have a. I'm sorry. Sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit there, Alan. Alan, as you know, we're at the Tokyo Game Show. Nintendo always has a big presence at the Tokyo Game Show booth, and we made sure to spend a little bit of time over there at the game show to talk to head of Nintendo Entertainment International, Captain Toad. Let's watch and see what Captain Toad had to say. Captain Toad, Animal Crossing, I think, is going to be one of the biggest games of the first quarter of 2020. Are you prepared to announce that there's going to be any sort of special DLC for players that adopt the game early, rather than waiting for it to come out, rather than waiting for the reviews to come in for this highly anticipated AAA first-party game?
And then I did to them a monster.
Did you just say monster?
Yeah.
You're going to have monsters in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So Animal Crossing is no longer going to be this wonderful sort of understated game where people wander around talking to animal townspeople, people that live in the town that are also animals. In this case, of course, it's a sort of a campsite where all of the tents are the houses. And this is sort of about the simplicity of how life can be. It's about the day-to-day beauty of life and those connections that we make as people and the things that we have to do in our life to sort of create meaning. So it's up to us to create meaning in the original Animal Crossing games, but now you're telling me there's going to be these monsters in these Animal Crossing games, and that to me just sounds like a different game. How is that any different than any other game where you're fighting off some sort of crazy creature that's been kidnapping people or turning them into other monsters?
It is a game, but there is fawns and monsters, and they are kidnapping the fawns, so I have to. They don't throw traps. They just throw weapons like they're home, get in their home. Then when they come back, he will put them in jail. And then when they water it out, he let them out so they don't have water and food. Then he drops down them into my eye. It says that's a water. And then they put and try to break out of an opening.
And that is our EGI exclusive interview with Captain Toad. I want to thank you so much, Captain Toad. Good luck with all your future adventures, Captain Toad. Alan, what did you think of what Captain Toad had to say? All the wonderful insights and bits of inspiration that he had to offer.
I think Captain Toad is boss. I think the new Animal Crossing sounds tight, and I am into it. Thank you, Captain Toad.
Thank you, Captain Toad. I'm glad that you enjoyed the Captain Toad interview so much, Alan. I do feel like he had a lot of wisdom to offer to us and to the gaming community, the people that watch the show, and the people that are on the show, the people that work here on the show. So thank you, Captain Toad.
Thank you,
You've
Captain
always been
Toad.
an inspiration to me. You've always been a inspiration to us all. So we have a caller on the air. Caller, you're on the air with electronic game information. Hello, caller, you're on the air with electronic game information.
Yeah, hi. I was
how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing great. Just watched an interview with Captain Toad that I brought back the wonderful memory of speaking to that very special kind of mutant creature, and it just really has sort of like reset my expectations for the sort of the remainder of this experience, the remainder of this trip.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Hey, Alan,
Yeah,
do you
what?
think Animal Crossing is going to have DLC?
Who is this?
This is Angie.
Angie. Hey, Angie, what's up? Animal Crossing DLC, definitely going to have DLC. Back to you, Rob.
Oh, cool. Alan, do you think it's going to be like $60 or $40?
Animal Crossing, definitely going to be up in the high 60s. In my mind, that is my answer. But Robbie, you're the Animal Crossing expert. Back to you.
Well, I would guess that the Animal Crossing will be about $60 when it comes out. Any optional DLC will probably bump that up. If you get a
DLC,
season's pass, it's
gonna be
usually
DLC.
$20 to $25. If you're going to go off of the Fire Emblem season pass, which is $25, it could bump the full price up to $85.
I'm excited about those monsters, though.
I feel a little trepidatious about that, but I think Captain Toad knows what he's doing.
Yeah, President Nintendo knows.
Yeah, I trust him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Alan, what did you think of? Do you think it's going to be like Fire Emblem? Is it going to become like Fire Emblem, or is it going to stick? It's going to stick to the Animal Crossing formula.
I hope it's a bit.
I don't know from what Toad said.
I hope it's a bit of both.
Yeah, me too.
I love talking to you.
Hey,
though.
you think? Thanks. Do you think Gun Pixie is going to have online play? I'd love to play with you.
That would be so tight. Maybe we exchange friends codes after the show when I'm back in the States.
Thank you for your call.
Okay, cool.
You can exchange friend codes at some other time. We have another caller on the air with electronic game information.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for your call. So that was the last call that we'll take for that segment. We have a little bit more of Tokyo footage to watch. Let's take it away with the Tokyo footage.
Thanks for watching EGI in the Tokyo episodes.
It's Tokyo episodes of EGI. We're here in front of the box factory.
The box crushing factory.
Box crushing factory. There's some more boxes across the street. You can see them just over there behind me. Right, there's the boxes in another cart, just like this one. This one is an empty cart with no boxes. And over here, you can see across the street. If you do a screen cap and zoom in, there are lots of boxes in that cart. So back to you, Alan. That's Robby and Alan. We just went to the Square Enix Cafe. You can see the name of the Square Enix Cafe behind me. It's a pretty disappointing experience overall. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, Square Enix Cafe, it's just a gift shop and like a cafe with coffee. Thought it'd be more fun. Maybe they'd have like the characters would come to life and you could actually talk to them, but that's not what it is. It's just a cafe.
So don't go to the Square Enix Cafe in Tokyo. They're very nice, but they don't have anything of value.
Nintendo ファミリーコンピュータ NEC ホームエレクトロニクス PCH セガマーク3およびマスターシステムが壮絶なシェア争いを
Do you have any?
behind me. We have PlayStation 4 games. We have pornographic games. We have PlayStation 3 games and PS Vita games. Alan, why don't you take out some of these PS Vita games? Alan, why don't you take out some of these PS Vita games behind me and show them to the camera?
They have games with
those look like normal-sized women, but we are still. I'm asking you, Alan, to take out the PS Vita games. I think people will be excited to see all these different PS Vita games that maybe you can't get in the United States. So, Alan, why don't you just choose one at random? I think it can. You can probably pick one out that you've never seen before.
What's this game?
Looks kind of like it might be not for children. So, why don't you put that back?
This game looks cool.
Can you? That game doesn't look like could be a family-friendly game. So let's you try to pick something you've never seen before, something that looks a little family-friendly. Like how about this, Alan? Right here, Snack World. It's called Snack World.
Oh, Snack World.
Right there. Yeah, there it is. Be careful.
Snack World. $2,980.
$2,980. That must be quite a rare game to cost that much. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're looking at, Alan?
Snack World looks like a game where different travelers go on an adventure to get snacks on a big open world island.
Open world action RPG. This is an EGI exclusive. Snack World is open world. It's an open world RPG. It's coming to you sooner than you realize. Snack World for 3DS. And it is time for the list. Alan, are you ready for the list?
Robbie, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me come to Tokyo with you, and I had the best time in my whole life, and I'm so glad you didn't kill me at Comic-Con because I wouldn't have been able to experience such an amazing trip, and I love you, and you're my best friend. And I'm sorry if I've been acting weird, but I just am so happy to be here with you, and the trip was so fun, is what I'm trying to say.
It's a good trip.
And
I won't lie, there was a lot of really wonderful moments, and, hopefully we get a chance to do it again.
yeah, and I'm not going to play Gungam Pixies. I'll get that other game that you said that sounded boring.
Hard West?
Yeah, I'll get, yes.
It's only $4.
Great.
All right, so this is the list. We have the list of Armored Core games. Alan, are you ready for the final list of Armored Core games?
Yes, the list.
All right, here we go. Armored Core 4 is, of course, the fourth entry in the Armored Core series, and Armored Core 5 is the final game on the list. So that was a list of Armored Core games. That was the list for the Tokyo Game Show 2019. What a year it's been. What a tremendous year of adventures in video games and the gaming community. What a tremendously challenging time it has been for me watching the transformation and the rebirth of my good friend Alan as he's gone through everything that he's gone through, from a starry-eyed young guy to somebody who really loves strawberries. You know, I really hoped that the end of this Tokyo Game Show I would be able to talk about the game Daemon X Machina, a game that I promised to you, and the game that I expected that would be a contender for the EGI Game of the Year. Unfortunately, that game wasn't quite what I expected. It doesn't seem to be quite what others expected. We set these high expectations for things, and when they don't meet them, or maybe if they sort of end up different than what we had anticipated, can leave us feeling a little lost and adrift. But ultimately, we have to grow, and maybe we have to follow our own paths. So I've come down pretty hard on Alan the last couple of weeks because of the things that he's exploring about himself and his body. But I'm going to keep trying to accept things as they come. And that was Electronic Game Information's Tokyo Game Show 2019 coverage. Be sure to check back in with us regularly, as we will be announcing our dates for the Electronic Game Information Game of the Year Awards sometime in the next couple of months. Be sure to keep sending us in fan art to electronicgameinformation@gmail.com. It's great if you, it's easy for us to make sure that you are recognized for your work if you, leave us your name, and if you contact us through Instagram and send us images that way, that is also great. We have been so honored to be here in Tokyo, Japan, and feel so connected to you, the viewers back in the States or in the United Kingdom or wherever you might be watching Electronic Game Information. Stay with us, and we'll stick with you.
Thank you.